On part 2 of Canon in D by Arpeggio. I'm sure by now you know that this is D and that is D and this is A and this is A and this is B and this is B, and you got the picture. Okay, you know where those notes are. Please make sure that the answer is yes and you mean it. Okay. Now, we said in this video we're going to start arpeggios. Now, an arpeggio is a fancy name for the notes in a chord. In other words, if you played the chord, say for example E minor on bass guitar, it would sound like this. Doesn't sound good, eh? If I had to play a D, for example, it would sound something like this. Okay, the D didn't sound too bad, but it's still not something we normally play on bass guitar. But we'd want to imply the chords. So while your guitarist or keyboardist is playing D and A and B minor and all those chords, as on your PDF file, we want to imply it without just playing D. We want to do more, want to be more creative, want to be more free on your instrument. Now, an arpeggio, as we said, it's the notes in the chord played individually, not simultaneously. So this over here, for example, is a D arpeggio. Now for the exercise, I haven't included the octave 4, step 4, that you can bring in later, but let me first explain the arpeggio. That's D. This note over here is referred to as the major third note. It's the third note of the major scale. And to prove that, if I take the D major scale and do my do, re, mi, fa, so, and I count 3 notes from 1, 2, 3, there's my major third note. And then they include the 5th note. Now this has got to do with chord construction theory. We're not going to go much deeper than this right now. And we're bringing in the 5th note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's... And you got your basic D major arpeggio. Okay. We could have put the octave in as well if you wanted to. And what I want to learn over here or teach you is that the shape is constant. So this shape, this sequence of finger movement from there to there to there and putting in the octave is standard on bass guitar for any major arpeggio. So if you wanted to play a C major arpeggio, there's C, and then use the same finger sequence as I would do for the D. If I needed, let's say, B flat arpeggio, I'd go to B flat, which is at fret number 6. I'm turning the bass to show the entire bass to make sure that you're happy that I'm at fret 6. And you'll notice that the finger sequence is again the same, even though I'm playing from a different root note, a different string. If you have a 5-string bass and you had the 5th string lurking where my middle finger is tapping there, it would also be the same shape. So let's repeat. This is the major shape. That's the riff I'm going to play, and this is the full arpeggio. Okay, now what about minors? Minors have got a different sound. That's what they're called, minors. And for those who know a little bit about theory, a minor means a flattened third note. So you take this note and you flatten it. In other words, you lower the pitch. But to play this, that's insane. It's a huge stretch. I mean, look at that. My fingers are not happy with me. So we're going to take this note and put him somewhere else. We can put him there. This is much more easy. Here's my new minor shape. So the note that changed when I went from D major, major third, D minor, they call it a minor third. Listen to the sound again. Get used to the pitch difference. Try and associate major, happy, minor, sad. That's what the classical terminology is for it. But the 5th is constant, and so is obviously the octave. Okay, so why do you want to know this? Because we need B minor and F sharp minor arpeggios soon. So B minor, B is at fret number 2, and it's going to be to fret number 5, fret number 4, and there's my B minor arpeggio. And the same rule applies with the minor shape as with the major shape. The shape is constant, the shape doesn't change, but I need to know from where to play it. This is F sharp. F sharp minor. Notice the same finger movements, and my fingers are numbered for a reason. Please make sure you're doing the same, and you know which of you I'm talking to that want to jump with your third finger. Don't do that. Okay, please get your pinky working. Minor shape. So let's just do it one more time. Major shape, just to remind us to get the tone sound, and the minor sound. Okay, now we're going to take step 3's rhythm, and we're going to apply the arpeggio to this. Sounds quite cool. So we're expanding and making it more creative. Okay, now the next step is to apply it to the backtrack, and it should sound something like this. Now to apply it to the backtrack, here we go. We're going to hear the last bar, and we're going to apply step 4 to the backtrack. And there you have it, quite easy. Now obviously we can make it more intricate. Remember we spoke about octaves earlier, and we're going to focus in a bit more carefully now into the fretting hand. We're going to take the D major, and check this out. This is the normal major arpeggio with that octave note that we didn't use earlier. And you'll notice that when I jumped from there to there, that it's a quick jump, and we don't want this. Then I can hear 2 strings. Make sure it's nice and clean, and if you get a bit of fret noise, or string noise rather, from the open string, watch my thumb here. See the thumb jump into that string. One more time. And you can see as we go through the chords now, or through the notes rather, watch my thumb that's tapping. And the purpose of the thumb that I'm slowing down is to show you that it's dampening and keeping my strings quiet. Very important technique. Okay, now we know that this is the octave included this time, so we're going to go from here. That's your first one, and we're going to break it up and say, well, how about doing this? Slow motion onto A. And if I did the B minor, sorry, F sharp. So I'm adding an extra note but keeping the rhythm constant. Once we've done that, we can play a bit with the rhythm as well. And we change the rhythm a bit there. One more time, slow motion. Onto the B minor, super slow. There's my B minor. Onto F sharp. So you can really make it your own the whole way through. The purpose of this video is to give you the steps that you can then change and expand on and go crazy with. Okay. I'm not going to go too much in the D major scale and the improvisational side of a more linear diatonic fills. The purpose of this every year was to learn the notes again. D, D, A, B, B, F sharp, F sharp. Get that reflex instantaneously, mustn't think. Okay, that was the first step. Then to expand the rhythm, try some thumb techniques. Play a bit with that. Then we change the rhythm of the fifths. And the nice thing with the fifths is you don't have to worry if it's a major or a minor, because that major third that we spoke with earlier in this video isn't being used. So when you do this, that will work for any major or minor chord, nice and easy to use. And then we finished off with step 4, actually looking at the major and minor arpeggios and applying them. And then for an extra jam, we added the octave. Hope you got that. Any questions? You've got my WhatsApp details. Keen to hear from you guys. Enjoy the backtracks. Let me know how it goes. Okay, and have an awesome week. Take care. Bye.